The vast array of tools, items, and objects you see before you are part of a wider application of knowledge, which is the craft of the wise. I will show you history is not what you were taught. The craft of the wise for the last 2,500 years is the deadliest knowledge. For there are parts of the world right now, several of the items, knowledge of, as well as understanding of how to use these tools, would and could render you excommunicated, expelled, or even executed by either the local community and or the political powers that be. The laws against the craft in the Western world have only come off the books in the last few decades. This series is about taking some of the most important of these items and showing you the technical aspects of how to use it and what culture or religious tradition it comes from. All the tools you see before you and more are used in a variety of ways to help make the bearer be a conduit between the divine, the self, and the intended target of the energies being worked with. The goal of the craft of the wise is to live one's life in balance within the self, the mind, the body, and the spirit. To use that inner balance with the divine and where the self is on their path. In this episode of Deadliest Knowledge, How To, I'm going to show you the basics of how a divination device works by showing you how to work with the divination device tarot deck, as well as how a tarot deck is put together. Understanding divination. The word divination is Latin for communication with your idea of the divine or God or goddess. The word divination is made from two Latin words, divin and ation. Divin is God or goddess, and ation is connection or communication with. That is the tarot deck, which consists of 78 cards separated into several sections designed to be a map, guide, psychological profile for one's life as well as one's path. Divination at base is a way to use an external tool, a divination device, to make a conduit between your internal psychic talent and spirit, God, divinity. Eventually, the idea is to turn your internal psychic talent into a workable skill by using the divination device as an identification and training tool, so you can eventually use yourself as a trusted divination device. The deadliest skill, how to use divination device tarot deck. Within wisdom, it's not your psychic ability that does not grow. It is your training, your mental understanding of what your body is already telling you. The funny feelings, the tingles, the nerve response of the skin contracting and the hair popping up is already there. This society teaches us to ignore it all. The third eye, for instance, is a very real thing. The third eye is a bag of goo about the size of the index finger that is in the middle of the brain. This is my reader area. My reading table, tape recorder so the client can have cassette from it, notepad so the client can take notes from it, divination device, where I read from, where the client sits. Specific placements are the very definition of a layout pattern. The 16, the 17, the 24, the 25, the 32, the 33, the 36, and as many other rune language variations that I could find